Welcome back, you lovely people, and welcome to the Altseason series. In these videos, we will prepare ourselves for the final alt season in this crypto bull market in 2021. And we will do our best to identify how to enter and how to exit safely to make sure that we limit our risk and increase our returns. Firstly, a few points to make, which are very, very important, and it will determine whether you want to carry on with these videos or not. Number one, for those that have been following me for a while, you will know that this game is all about Bitcoin. So the altcoins all revolve around Bitcoin's 4-year cycle. And we're in the final year of Bitcoin's bull market. We are coming up to the end of the bull market. And therefore, at the end of the bull market, we can expect altcoins to perform really, really well because Bitcoin does the hard work and then altcoins come up the rear and take over and put in some big gains. Owning altcoins over the long term is a losing game. Most altcoins go to zero and they certainly lose value against Bitcoin over time. But if we time it well, then yes, you can do quite well on them, as you probably know already. But it's all about getting as many Bitcoins as possible because the tokens for these other projects or cryptocurrencies, they don't mean anything. In fact, most of them are scams in some way, shape, or form. The only digital asset that means anything is Bitcoin, and that is because Bitcoin means everything. So it can only be the only thing that matters. So we certainly don't get married to altcoins. You do not want to hold an altcoin through the bear market. Most altcoins will lose 95 to 99% of value or even go to zero. So we use them strategically in order to increase our Bitcoin position. And this is the second point. It's only worth holding Bitcoin it's only worth holding an altcoin if it's going to appreciate versus Bitcoin, because otherwise you may as well just hold Bitcoin. And there's only 21 million Bitcoin. So if ever you're selling a Bitcoin for any asset, you need to be very, very sure that that asset is going to appreciate versus Bitcoin. And this is why we look for specific timing. Yes, some altcoins can outperform Bitcoin at other points in the cycle, but there is no point in taking on that risk unless we are pretty sure that we are heading into or at the beginning of alt season. It is not worth the risk to potentially outperform Bitcoin, because if you end up underperforming Bitcoin, that means you have lost some of your Bitcoin stack. This is the most important thing to understand. Your Bitcoin stack is all that matters. We are in an inflationary environment, potentially at some point in a hyperinflationary environment. And in the past, if you were in Weimar Republic or France and you had a stack of gold, imagine losing some of that gold as you're about to experience hyperinflation. That is not what you want to achieve. So we're protecting our Bitcoin stack at all costs. That's why we're very, very careful about how we use altcoins. But if we can use altcoins to increase our Bitcoin stack, then so be it. And that's what we're going to try and do here. And thirdly, it's about limiting your risk. So in no way should anybody be using any sort of leverage on altcoins if you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't have some experience in the crypto markets, you shouldn't be in altcoins whatsoever. It is a fine strategy to just hold Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been going up, has been appreciating at 197% per year against the US dollar. You do not need to outperform that. That will give you financial freedom if you have patience and you keep stacking. If you do have some experience, you have put in the work, you are willing to learn, then of course, potentially you can take some of your position and look at altcoins, and it should be a small position. That Bitcoin is about to have her final phase of the bull market. You want to get that. You don't want to miss the most important thing that matters. If you are going to look for altcoins, then think about what percentage of your portfolio you're going to be looking at using for that final gamble to try and increase your returns. It certainly shouldn't be over 50% in my opinion. And for somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing but wants to try, then maybe it's 5 to 10%. Only you can figure that out, but be very cautious. Your altcoin that you gamble on could lose all of its value overnight. That certainly happens. So always bear that in mind. Listen to those principles very, very closely. This is really, really important. And then if it is something that you're looking at trying, then of course, let's proceed on to the next videos and create our strategy.